What is up, guys and gals? This is Brandon back on Brandoncoin, and I have a small little update. If you haven't noticed, some of my videos have been a little slower to get out than normal, and that's because I ran into an issue the other day. I told y'all about it. I told some people about it, but I didn't make its own video. But my old system with the FX8320 in it had a decent little motherboard. I had a GTX 1080 on it, an SSD. This had the 8320 processor, which is the 8-core FX processor from AMD. Well, anyway, I didn't have that system on a surge protector, and I don't know what's happened to it, but I have swapped the power supply, I've swapped RAM, I've swapped graphics cards, I've swapped everything except for the actual CPU on the motherboard, which I don't have a spare one right now. So for the time being, I didn't want to waste money buying another old CPU or another old motherboard to figure out which one was which. So I'm building a new system, which is why you clicked on this video. Let's flip it around. Alright, so here it is, guys. The new system is going to be a Ryzen 3 1200 build. So it's a absolutely bone budget, like base, it's a new budget system. I just did my used build budget system the other day, and now this is basically the polar opposite if you were going to buy everything brand new. So the motherboard we're looking at is the AB350. It's a gaming motherboard. It comes with 2 full-size PCI slots, and they're spaced far enough apart so you could put 2 full-size graphics cards in there. Now, as with this build, I'm not going to be using, the graphics card I'm going to be using is not going to be a problem for heat, but I just wanted the future upgradability. It's also got 4 PCI Express 1 slots, so this could be built out into a 6 or more card build. It does have M.2 adapters, so I could put more. I think it supports up to 7, but you can correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. But awesome motherboard. This was on sale. I don't remember the price, but I'll put the links down below in the description for everything. Got a thermal take 500 watt power supply. These were like $30-something. Went ahead and grabbed one of those. Those are good. They're 80+ rated. There's the Ryzen 3 1200. It's just a 4-core, 4-thread entry-level processor. And for right now, I'm actually going to be running this system on 4 gigs of RAM. So this is DDR4, 2400 megahertz, and everybody told me you cannot run a system on 4 gigs of RAM, but I think otherwise. I think you can. The SSD I'm going to be using, it's not new. Let's see here. It's actually just right over here. It's a SanDisk, 120 gigabyte. I had a bunch of these laying around, so I'm going to put this one back in. It has my Windows 10 on it already. But yeah, so that's the basic rundown of the system. The graphics card I'm going to be using is the GTX 1050 Ti right here. This is still a great entry-level graphics card, and they're selling for, you know, the high $100 range, but still you can do a ton on them. So, alright, let's get to throwing this thing together. Okay guys, it's time for the first power on, so if anything bad's gonna happen, you're gonna be along with me on the ride. Cross your fingers, no fires, no sparks, we're good to go. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so sorry about that. I had to run upstairs and grab a power button. I'm always a big advocator of poking a lot of things with screwdrivers, but the power, or the header panel to turn this system on is actually really close to some other pins, and if I get a little shaky, brand new motherboard, bites the dust. So alright, first power on now. Here's our button. Wait, I need to turn the power supply on. Okay, we got power to the motherboard. Now, button. 1, 2, 3. Fans are turning. There's no smoke. There's no fire. I think we're good to go. Maybe. We're not out of the woods yet. Knock on glass. Be right back. Alright guys, so the system is up and running. I'm running Windows 7, so Windows 10, so automatically found all my drivers and everything, and it's all good to go. So that's awesome. Just to recap, it is a Ryzen 3 1200 and a GTX 1050 Ti, 4GB, and it's a Zotac Mini single fan model. I went ahead and just benchmarked it in on NiceHash, and if we fire it up, I would screen record, but it gets all choppy when I'm screen recording on the actual system, so that's why I just have the camera pointed at the screen. I apologize. That first 76 cents, it's between 70 and 80 cents on just the 1050 Ti, and they're mining the Kryptonite V7, which is the new algorithm for the Monero fork. But it looks like this system, just a second ago, it was hovering around $1.20. But it's jumping between anywhere from $1.10 to $1.20, which is awesome for the price. And I suspect if you could afford a higher end Ryzen CPU, then it could do even better. But yeah, so the base model Ryzen is doing, let's see, I'll stop this and we'll see just what the Ryzen's doing by itself. Come on, come on, you can do it. You can do it. 43 cents. So it's doing almost 50 cents by itself. And that's no overclocks or anything. I know you can push these little processors a little bit, so I imagine it could do even better. And now we'll show you what the 1050 Ti is doing by itself. Fire that up. And this is also stock clocks. I have not overclocked anything. I like to work off the worst case scenario, so everybody has a good idea of where they're at. And if you start at the bottom and it only gets better, then that's an awesome way to be. It looks like 63. It was doing about 70 to 80 a minute ago, but it is definitely jumping all over the place. So we'll recap that and call it like 65 to 60 cents roughly for a graphics card that should only cost about $120, but unfortunately they're like $179 right now. So awesome little system, and let's see what it actually does playing some games. Alright guys and gals, so we're back on, and I'm just loaded up a little bit of Fortnite. I have the frame counter up here in the corner. If you'll notice, it's staying almost above 100 frames right away on everything. So it seems to be handling Fortnite with no issues. And this is the same graphics card I had in the other AMD system that was struggling to hold anything above 60 frames. So, oh, and I got ganked just like that. So I'm definitely not a good Fortnite player, but this system won't have any issues keeping you above 120 frames. And my monitor isn't even a 120 hertz, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Just remember that the links will be down below in the description to find out all the parts that I use for this. And if you like this kind of stuff, just let me know. Give me a comment down below. Adios.